people have called for your resignation. The school board will be meeting to discuss your contract extension next June 12th. Why should you continue to be superintendent? What's your best case for that?
I have, the question is why me, why now, is kind of how I reframe the question. I am deeply engaged and passionate about this topic. Equity has been at the core of my professional career as a special educator for 30 years. And I'm not shying away from this difficult conversation. It is difficult to sit in the front of a room full of people who are, very angry at the lack of pace that the district has been taking. That's difficult, but I'm not walking away from it. I'm here, I'm engaged, I'm committed, and I believe I can move this forward.
You're engaged now, 12 days before contract negotiations open. I mean, people might draw a connection there. What can you say about that?
I believe in this plan regardless of what the board decides or who is superintendent. I also am superintendent for the next year. We can't wait. We can't wait for the board to decide what to do. We can't wait for whether there's going to be new leadership or whether you're going to stay with the current leadership. That would just simply delay progress for another year or possibly 3 years by the time you would make a change and somebody would get up to speed. We can't wait. Now, regardless of my own personal future, I am committed to this district, I am committed to this plan, and I believe that it's a plan that is sustainable and that whomever is sitting in this office will move forward.
This is a teachable moment. We are ready to learn and ready to put into place those processes that we need to have in order to make our students get the education.
No child should be excluded from the support that they need to achieve their potential or participate in any activity due to race, ethnicity, class, ability, gender, sex, and sexual orientation. Everyone should be included in our school district. We must do this work within our existing resources. This plan does that.
Can you describe what the problem is now? Are students currently being prohibited from this? What is the problem in your district?
At the moment, the student voices have made it clear and community voices have made it clear as well that we have, as public schools in America have, as our community has, we have issues where students are receiving disparate treatment. Students are hearing discriminating comments, bullying comments, harassing comments. We are starting to look at our data to look at whether students are being denied access to programs or opportunities through a disparate use of discipline procedures, class placement. One of the concerns that was brought up in the student voice last month was our exit and entry criteria into our English language learner program. All of those things have been identified through comment, and that we plan on addressing and using data to determine the extent and how to make the goals to change it.
What is the penalty? Would that change? Do you know what the new penalty is?
Yes, a student right now makes a racist comment or a bullying type comment to another student. What is the penalty now and what will it be under the new plan? The penalty doesn't necessarily change. What's different, what I'm asking to be different, is the creation of an equity team of all of our designated employees to be led by an equity director who looks at the data, the reports on every single one of those incidents on a monthly basis, who provides technical assistance to the principals of the schools, who helps with investigations in other schools, because I do anticipate, with an intense awareness on this in the coming months, that we will see an increase before we see a decrease. That is typical behavior. So we need to make sure that we have the capacity to investigate, and that we will actually have the data to determine if our responses are quick, if they are sure, if they are fair, and if they are representative of what's happening. And that's what the real difference will be.
What mistakes have you made as head of this division in tackling this issue up until now?
I think the major mistake that I made is I was responding as a bureaucrat. I was responding as a person who, while I believe deeply in this issue, I was not letting my heart perhaps enter into the debate. And I can't do that anymore. If I'm really going to make a difference in the Burlington schools, all of me has to be in this. And as a parent, I myself have great empathy for what other parents go through. As a parent, I want to send my child to school feeling sure that they will be safe from harassment and bullying. And I guess what's changed for me is my heart is here. My heart is, I can no longer keep it behind the walls of an office up on the hill. My heart has to be in this, my passion has to be in this, and that's the major change for me. I have spoken with a large number of people in the community about this plan. I've gotten input from people who have been speaking out against me, people who have been speaking out against the district, because those voices are all very, very valid. A huge part of this plan comes from the year-long work of 20 volunteers on the Task Force for Diversity and Equity. The chair of that task force is here with us today, and that group spent an entire year researching best practices. So that's the foundation of my plan, and then beyond that, I have reached out to a large number of community members. I've listened carefully in the public comment portions of the board meetings the last couple of months and incorporated in what I believe to be a thoughtful and sustainable plan for the future, incorporated those comments into that plan.
Do you anticipate new hires for this committee?
The plan does talk about a reorganization of the diversity office. That reorganization has that office resting on 3 prongs. One prong would be a focus on professional development, because I believe that is going to be the very, very core of how we change the climate within the schools. The second prong is going to be focused on diversity, so there will be a new position.
Right now, we're in the process of having conversations within the community. I feel that this is an initiative that within the next year the superintendent can fully implement, and my confidence in this plan and in the superintendent be able to implement that goes because this is part of the vision of the board.
So beyond your confidence in the plan, what is your confidence in Ms. Collins
I fully believe that she can implement this plan.
and her long-term future in this district?
Remember, I'm chairman of the board, not I'm one of 14 votes. There are 14 members of the board, and here, the evaluation of this superintendent is a very extensive process. We take that very seriously, and this is just one of the elements in looking at the superintendent's performance.
So are you prepared to say today that she should lead this division into the future?
She should start this initiative immediately. The extent of her contract is up to the board, and that will be decided as of starting on June 12th. I still want to and would appreciate conversations with people and their point of view.
Also,
And remember, I'm only speaking as one.
Also, I didn't see any price tag on the cost of these possible new positions. What is the price tag?
You're correct. The plan itself does not have the budget in it. I am not seeking to hire outside new positions. I'm looking at reorganizing from within, with the exception of one position. We had an opening in the Diversity Equity Office this spring. We have chosen not to fill it for the remainder of the year, and that position will be used for the affirmative recruitment retention specialist. So there is funding there, but the position is currently vacant and will be hired for it. Other than that, there will be reorganization with the district, and you'll hear more about that in the near future. I also do want to recognize the administrators who are standing behind me. As an administrative team, we are committed to equity and district free of harassment and racism in this district, and we are strongly committed to the success of each and every child within the Burlington schools.